Hello everyone and welcome to Cooking and Baking with Samer. Today we're going to make a special baking dish. We're going to make an apple pie. I'm actually going to be doing two, and I'm going to show you how to make the dough for the pie, the crust, and also how to do the apples, what type of apples we use, all the ingredients that you need to make the best, tastiest apple pie you've ever had. What you'll need, you will need a food processor to make the dough or to make the crust. The reason is it's just you could make it by hand and mix it, but you'll see it's so quick. Uh, you maybe 3 minutes you'll have the crust done. So what we need to do first is we need the 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, and the food processor that I have, it has a different blade if I'm doing dough. If yours doesn't, it's okay. It's not going to hurt, but food processor is what I use. Also, we will need 2 tablespoons of sugar. There we go, 1, 2, and half a teaspoon of salt. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is mix those dry ingredients together. Real quick here, just for a little bit. There we go. And next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 6 cold tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of vegetable shortening. I use Crisco. And I also put it at about 10 minutes before I start getting things ready. I take 3 tablespoons and I put it in the fridge because we need these. It's very important for these ingredients to be cold. And let me show you how I put the butter in there. I still cut it while I'm putting it in there. So you know, you mark this at the 6 tablespoons there. So there, I'm cutting it about tablespoon each when I'm putting it in there in the food processor. And there we go. All right. It's simple and easy. And again, it is very, very important for the butter and the Crisco to be cold. Now, if you forget, even on the Crisco, I separate the 3 tablespoons. See, I already had them in here separated. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm not starting it yet because there's one more ingredient that we need is the 1/4 cup of cold water. So I'm going right to the fridge here, getting a 1/4 cup, and there we're gonna start here, and you'll see the timing. It's real timing that you're going to see. So there, it's mixing. That's it. It's done. The crust is done. And if you come here, see, look, they are. I'll bring it to you. You could see they're like still like crumbly like this. It's excellent. It's how you kind of want it. If you over mixed it a little bit or something like that, it's okay. It's not going to hurt it, but this is the best way for it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring whichever method you like to use. We need to put it in the refrigerator for about a half hour. So while it's in the fridge, that's when I get the apples ready and everything like that. And so this is what I'm going to do here. take it out on the counter. There we go. There's some items here on the bottom. And you just take it and put it together like this. Again, this is the norm. This is not something that, and you'll see, you can see the butter and the Crisco in there within the crust. That's it. Look at that. Move the plastic wrap over it, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for about a half hour for it to rest. Now I cleaned up, moved everything out of the way. For the apple pie, I use Granny Smith apples, these green ones. And what you need is 5 apples if they're the medium to smaller size. But if they're the bigger ones, you need only 4. And it just happened when I went to the store, they were out of the bigger ones. So I bought 5 of the smaller ones. What I'm going to do is we need to peel them, core them, and then I'll show you how I cut them, the thickness. I don't make them thick. I like them thinner. With the apples when they're baking and all the items that I have in there, I like them smaller, and then I like them softer. I don't like the honestly, I don't like the crunch in there because you'll taste the apple, but then you'll taste all that flavor. If you just crunchy, it'll be a little underdone, and it won't be as flavorful. And I have to warn you, once you make an apple pie and take it to your family or take it to work, you are stuck. You have to always make it, but it's a lot of fun, and I love doing it for everyone. Like I mentioned, I'm making 2 pies today. I have 10 apples here. I want to show you what method I use. It's up to you. Use the best method you can, but just in case, you can try. I do use the potato peeler, and what I do is I first run like on the top. I try to make some, depending on, this one is a little bigger, so I'm gonna take a quick 2 runs on top and just a quick run like this on the bottom, or maybe this way, and then I just go I don't know, diagonally this way. And again, like I mentioned, the longest thing that takes making the apple pie is peeling and coating the apples, but that's why I like to get the bigger ones. You spend less time. But during this time we need for the dough or the crust to cool in the refrigerator and set. So now I'll show you how I also core the apple. I know there are apple quarters and apple peelers, but I just do it all by hand. First I cut the apple into 4s, and so each one I do it with the bigger knife. That's how I'm used to, and then I take the smaller one and I take out the core on the inside. So I'm mainly showing you. I know you all know how to do this, but just so you see, there's no magic to it. That's why it takes time. It's just it's how we do it. And then when I put them, I separate the 5. I don't like to put the 10, then adding the ingredients and all that. You'll see why. Now I have all the apples, all 10 apples peeled and cored, and see, look at them here. So I put them in this bowl, and now we're going to cut them. I'll show you how I cut them. We try to be as precise as possible on the thickness of the slice. Really, it's about that's about a 1/4 of an inch, a little less. And again, we try to be we try to be precise on all of them. If there's one that you end up doing more or less, yes, one they'll all bake fine. Don't worry. But just if you're going to make it very thick, and then yes, you're going to have it sometimes maybe feel a little raw. But so this is how I cut them. It's just be careful. I'm using, use the big knife and whichever knife you like. So it's just be careful with it. And after that, we're going to mix the ingredients that we need to put inside the pie, and then I'll also show you what I also cover the pie with, and what I do with the pie dish. Now I have all the apples cut up, and we're ready to start putting their flavoring together. What we need is 2 1/3 per pie, 2 1/3 cup of sugar, and let's see, and we need 7 tablespoons of cornstarch. The reason that many is apples really produce a lot of water while they're cooking. I'm just trying to count here. We have 4, 5, 6, and 7. There. So, and I put 1 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all the dry ingredients together, and I'm going to mix them first. Before, what I'm going to add to them is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 tablespoon of water, just to put all this mixture together. Oh, I could smell the cinnamon over here. It's so good. Here we go. Let's get it done the right way. There. All right, that looks nice. That looks nice. Here we go. I have the 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of water. I put them together, mix them together already. There we go. Just mix them. You can mix them by hand too here at this point, but there we go. They almost become like a creamy solution here, and we're gonna mix them good. You can mix them with a fork. You can use the whichever method. And we're going to get our hands dirty right now with the mixture here. And what I'm going to do also is it's time for me to get the oven ready. We're going to preheat the oven at 375. So this time right now is very good. If you have a convection for baking, use the convection. So here we go. Convection bake 375, and start. And what we're going to do is bake them for 1 hour, and put it in the rack. Put it in the middle of the oven, or so positioned in a way where the pie dish will be in the middle of the oven. So see, look how it's all coming down here, and there we go. And as I mentioned, here's what I'm doing by hand is I'm putting all this mixture, pretty much running it on each one of those pieces of apples. So that's what I mean. I want them thinner. I want the cinnamon, the little bit of the lemon. You won't taste the lemon in there. The cinnamon and all the cornstarch and stuff like that to be in there to help it bind together and bond together while it's cooking. And here we go. There we go. It's all mixed together, and I'm fasting. I can't taste it, or otherwise I would taste it to make sure the cinnamon is to my liking and things like that. So this is so the apples are ready right now. Next, I'm going to show you what we'll do with the pie dish to get it ready, and then we're going to do the pie crust. The most exciting part about any pie, it's the crust. You need the flaky crust, you need it tasty, and kind of melts in your mouth. And don't forget to subscribe and give me your opinion after you make it, and any suggestions you might have. I'm always happy to hear your comments and hear your opinions. Thank you. Now that our apples are all seasoned and ready to eat, ready to bake, to eat, they're ready to eat too. They're so good. Uh, what we need to do is here's the pie dish I use. If you have, different ones, smaller, a little bigger, it's fine. Usually, I don't think there are bigger ones, but I do like to kind of rub it with butter. Just it helps the crust, the flakiness. And by the way, the reason we use Crisco, I didn't mention this before, is to make the crust flaky. So that's the reason we use the Crisco. And I'm also going to put it also on top here. I'm just running the butter right on it and getting it ready for to make the dough. So let's move this out of the way. And what I have here is this is a plastic bag. You need something thicker. So saran wrap is too thin. So this is like a plastic Ziploc. And I cut the Ziploc and I cut it in both places. So it's opening up like this, as you could see. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of flour and kind of sprinkle it here on there. And here are our two pieces of dough. They're ready. They've been in the fridge for about a half hour. And what I'm going to do is something a little more. I'm going to put it here. And what I'm going to do is put some also on top like this. Press it down. You'll see how precise things become in how to do the pie crust. And here I have the roller, so I'm going to press it and go along like this, like top to bottom. Then you turn it side to side and kind of use up the whole most of the plastic. Again, this is about the size of two and a quarter. I'm sorry, 2.5 gallon plastic Ziploc bag. So here's there. And how you feel, to be honest with you, you feel it. You could feel if there are bumps, lumps in there. So you can, if you need to make it thinner or in some places. But I could feel it when I feel it right now. It's like all one thickness. So here's the pie dish that we did. So I'm just kind of going to go like this and see how it is. And it's honestly, it's not this is how it's done. And don't worry, you'll see, it'll come out excellent. So what I'm going to do is take the dough and just place it as close to the center as possible. And you'll see, I'm showing you exactly what happens and how you need to do it. So, and how I do it too. And if you have other techniques, that's all good. See, what I'm doing is just taking pieces of dough from different areas and putting them where kind of needs it on top. And the nice thing about this pie dish is it's deep. Uh, so, and again, so I'm just, again, you just do it like this. Trust me, you won't know anything that has occurred after it's cooked. This is how it's done. See, it's in there, and I'm going and try to make a ridge after I have it all organized. Uh, and again, seriously, this is uh, the best way, and don't think you're doing anything wrong. Uh, I know you can do the two-finger pinch and all that. I just honestly, I just do it this way. I don't do the two-finger punch cross. And also, I don't pre-bake it. I just do it like this because of the butter and things. If you try to pre-bake it, all this stuff is going to melt and it's going to move in the dish, to be honest with you. So I don't pre-bake it. And there, look at that. Look at that pie crust. Here we go. See? Just like that. And now I'm going to put the apples in here that we did. And look how each apple has cinnamon on it. You see that? That's why we cut it thinner. And the cinnamon isn't going to be like, ooh, lots of cinnamony or anything like that. No, it's going to be very, very flavorful with all the other ingredients we put in there. And also you're going to see how I do the top. I do not do just the pieces of dough on top. I like to put the crumble because that's what also adds to the flavor in there. And yes, you can go in with putting the apples, by the way. Yes, you can go in there and put a little bit at a time. I've done that. I don't really need to. I kind of uh, do it in this fashion, and I'm just not like doing it faster for the camera now or anything like that. It just that's how I do it. And there we go. It's see the five apples are excellent, and when they bake, they're going to go. At first, it's odd. The apples like rise a little bit, and then they'll go down, and then you'll have juices at the bottom of here, and we're going to put them all on top of it. So again, it's not difficult. It's just the time. The biggest time that took us is really peeling, coating the apples. Everything else was just smooth sailing, and there. Oh, those are going to be good. They're going to be very, very good. Now we have some juices here. We're going to just pour these juices over here. I'm making a mess over there with my fingers because I put them in the juices. Sorry. All right, and go like this here to get everything out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the crumbles. The crumbles are very, very simple as well. I did quickly wipe the mess I made, and see, look, and I wiped my plate too. But look how beautiful it looks. Gorgeous, gorgeous, so yummy. Now I'm going to do the crumbles on top. What you need is it's a third cup of flour. We're gonna put a quarter cup of sugar and a quarter cup of butter. But with the butter, let me show you what I do to make things easier. So obviously it's going to be half a stick right there. And I don't know here, let me get these out of the way. I really want to show you what I do. I cut it like into about half an inch thickness. And then I go also diagonal like this. And then again, I go like this. on all the slices. There we go. There are two here that wanted to stay stuck. There, we got them out. Oops. Okay, there we go. So again, we'll use our hands. See, look, it's going to be like a quarter, these smaller pieces, and I'm going to put them in here. And it's also, by the way, it is, I do use it as cold. You don't want it warmed up. I mean, if you forgot it and you had it sitting outside while you're doing everything else, it's okay. It's not going to ruin anything. But see how I mix them like this together here? I kind of squish the butter with the flour and the sugar in there. And there we go. Oh, this is the crumble that we're gonna put on top of the apple pie, and then we bake it at 375 for 1 hour. And then it'll be done. And while it's baking, just clean up, you know. And don't forget to like and follow and also subscribe, so that way you can keep up of when I'm baking and things like that, or I'm cooking all the new recipes. I'm gonna try to put a new recipe once a week, so keep checking and keep coming back. And again, I will put the ingredients and the directions on the bottom as well. But I know my videos are a little longer than just a 5-minute videos. But think about it. If you watch a cooking show, you will sit there for a half hour and watch it. And that's my point. My point is you need to see how it's properly cooked, not just seeing things that, oh, it's done, and oh, I made this mistake, I think I'm doing something wrong. No, you make mistakes, it's okay. And it's just part of cooking, and we fix things. Look at that beautiful pie. Oh. And like I mentioned before, I'm baking 2 pies, and look, they won't fit like next to each other. They're very close, but they're a little diagonally, but I have them in the center rack. And we're going to bake them at 375 for 1 hour. We'll come back in an hour and show you how they look like. It's been an hour now. Let's check these pies out. Come and take a look. Look how the crust. Here, let me open there. Let me open the oven here. Look at that. Look how the crust is browny, and you can look at it and it looks crunchy. The whole house just smells so wonderful. This for this baking aroma that you feel, that you smell throughout the whole house. Oh, it's so wonderful. Look at those beautiful pies. Oh, the smell, the aroma, oh, throughout the house. It's just so wonderful. I can't, as I mentioned, I'm fasting. I can't try them right now. I'm taking them to a gathering, by the way, and also to a family gathering. I am going to take with me some vanilla ice cream. Some people like it, some people don't like it with the vanilla ice cream. Some people say, oh, let me warm it up a little bit in the microwave and put the ice cream on it, so everybody can try it the way they like it. And also, you need to have it sit out for at least an hour to cool down before we cut into it. But as you can tell, look at the crust. If you go down here below, you could see how it's evenly brown throughout. It's just it's wonderful. I know it's going to be very, very tasty tonight. Thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to give me your comments, follow me, uh, like, and also don't forget to subscribe. Again, I really enjoyed having you today. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.